Okay, so breaking news, fresh off the press just today, emergency video. There seems to be a very reliable leak about a secret Five Nights at Freddy's game that Clickteam had been in working on, and it was at the minimum in production around the end of 2023 into 2024. Is this still in production? It is very possible. If it is, if you think it is, get excited. Definitely stay excited. But I had two small thoughts I just wanted to get out of the way about what this game could be and when we might see it. And the theme of this is kind of to lower or temper or focus your expectations about what this game could possibly be. The first thing is that Clickteam just had a pretty bad layoff. And on top of that, they were already openly working on an entirely other game, the Five Labs game, as well as just managing their own engine and doing their own projects on the side. They're not just working on these two games full time, they're doing other things too. So they have a lot on their plate and they have a very small team in which to do that. So this means that if this project isn't outright canceled, it could still be a while and it might not even be very massive in scope when it comes out. So I just want you to bear that in mind. On the plus side, as far as its lore veracity, how close to the lore it might be, if there's things from the main game series that we could take from this game. Now, my opinion would be I think we can be very confident about this game being something we could look into. It might have a lot of information for us if it does come out that could tell us something, or, you know, it's worth digging into. Very worth digging into. This is obviously much more of a real deal looking FNAF game than like Five Labs. Five Labs, is pretty up in the air. It's easy to contest about whether we should be paying attention to its lore or not. But if Clickteam is working on a real Five Nights at Freddy's game, this looks like they're definitely working with Scott. And remember, Scott made his first few games on Clickteam. He made a bunch of his games on Clickteam even before FNAF 1. So he has a great relationship with that team and that studio. So I don't see it ridiculous that he would tip them off, give them some extra information, some juicy secrets to work on. So I think if we do see this game, it'll be very worth digging into. Now, what is this game going to be? Now, it certainly looks like a Scott era game. This looks like a Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, or maybe the Fredbear's Diner, or something from R&D, from Murray's Costume Mansion. To me, it looks more like a Scott era setting of a game. But what I want to caution against is what I think it might not be, what I think it isn't. Particularly if you're watching this video as it came out, you might have just seen a few hours ago the T Judge stream. Fantastic stream. That's how I found out about this. And this is some of the speculation they were doing, is what I want to urge caution about. So they were speculating about it being maybe even the Follow Me minigame from FNAF 2, where William Afton lures the endoskeletons out. Maybe it could be a game where the Fazbear Frights crew from FNAF 3 is salvaging things. Maybe it could be like a Fredbear game. And these seem like really cool and exciting ideas if you're already really into the series. Like, these are little nuggets of premises and areas that, feeling the timeline out, it could be very interesting. It could certainly tell us more. But that's only if you're right in the thick of it. I'd like you to think about how, from the outside, how marketable that type of game would be to someone who is more of an average person, who's not only sort of tangentially familiar with the series from the side. Maybe they played one game, maybe they've only watched the videos. Try explaining the premise of this game to them if it is something like, oh, it's William Afton luring people from the Follow Me minigame. Like, I think it would go something like this. Yeah, dude, you totally need to play this. Remember the second game from 10 years ago? Well, it takes place during a mini game from that game. It really fills in this time period we don't know anything about. Now, I'm not saying this to make fun of people speculating. Speculate away. You could be right. But If the premise of this game is too hard to explain to a newcomer or a rookie to the series, well, I think that's a tough sell for me, and it would be a very tough sell for them. Think of the other game that Clickteam is working on right now that we know about, Five Labs. Five Labs at Freddy's is a very easy sell to anyone who's only smallly familiar with the game. Oh, it's Mario Kart, but Five Nights at Freddy's, right? It's a kart racing game with Five Nights at Freddy's character. You don't need to know anything about the story to enjoy that. If you're just one of those people that likes the characters, that could be a fun game to play, right? This would not be easy to sell if it's like, no, you don't understand. It's like, remember the third game? Oh, you didn't play the third game? Well, okay, so these guys from the third game, they went to this old pizzeria to pick up some and salvage some stuff to use for a horror attraction. And this game is about them collecting that. Is it possible? Absolutely possible. But it seems to me unlikely. And remember, we gotta remember current time. Remember, Secret of the Mimic did not sell like hotcakes. So if this game is really targeting a very niche or a very convoluted premise, that's not making money. If it really was one of those things like a Fredbear game or the salvaging Fazbear Frights game or the Follow Me mini game, if they were working on this 3 years ago and that was the idea of the game, they could have already shelved it because they could have realized, well, things are already going in a different direction. The new games are doing something entirely different. People are starting to remember or forget the old stuff. I just don't think this is going to work. Um, so my opinion is to think bigger or at least more relevant to the current geist of things. For example, I think people speculating it being related to Chica's party, Chica's secret party, that fake game leak in the guidebook. That's juicy. That makes sense to me. That's hot off the press. People are talking about that right now. That seems a little more plausible to me. Again, this could be anything, but that's the direction I would lean right now. I could be completely wrong. I'm just one guy. Who knows? We just found out about this hours ago. So, those are my simple thoughts on what's going on right now. Very cool that we got some news. I know there's been a drought. People are getting antsy and anxious. So, dive into this. Tell me what you think. Start figuring out for yourself, maybe.